Hello, and welcome to the Sales Reps Enhancements that will be coming out with the back office release. Now let's get started. In this segment, we are going to talk about the enhancements made to the client details page. The first enhancement we have made is we added the field Client Reference ID External. The information will auto-populate in the same field on the Billing tab within the client profile. So if you click over to Billing, you'll see the exact same field with the same information. The ID in this field is optional and it references an external accounting software used for billing, such as QuickBooks. The second enhancement that we have made is we've made our orientation burden more configurable. At the admin level, when selecting a VMS, it will auto-populate the fields that have been configured within that admin setting. So you'll see once a VMS type is selected, in the VMS column a green yes will populate. You'll hover over and you can see the non-billable orientation hours, the billable orientation hours, and the billable orientation rate percentage with the client name and the VMS name for each specific division that was configured. Changes can be made to the orientation burden at the client level. Any changes made at the client level will trump the VMS configurations done at the admin level. In order to change the burden, you'll click on the orientation button, select the division that you would like to change, and then you'll go in and enter the new rates that you would like to configure. So you have your non-billable orientation hours, and then you have your billable orientation hours, which is optional. If you do fill in this field and there's a different percentage of rate that you'd be charging at the client level, you would enter this. So I do 50% of the base rate, and I'll click Save. And it says update the orientation values for all open jobs for this client. So if there's any current open jobs that has this VMS or these orientation burdens, you can either decline, so it will not be applied to any current open jobs, but will be applied to future open jobs. If you click on Approve, it will be applied to all current open jobs and future jobs. So we'll click on Approve, and then you can see that the chart has updated with the new information, and now the VMS has a red No listed, meaning that this is configured at the client level and is no longer being applied at the VMS level. In this segment, we are going to talk about the enhancements made to the Client Specialty tab. In this tab, we have added additional rates and multiplier fields that have more configurability within the client level based on the state that they reside in. This information is configured by state at the admin level, and based on the configurations, it will determine what populates within this Client Specialty tab. Some fields may not show, given what is configured for that specific state. Such as California, you're going to have a lot more fields versus something in like Michigan. Below is an example of all the possible fields available for configuring at the client specialty level, and these fields are not required and can be left blank. So if you're working through certain specialties and one specialty requires all these fields and the next specialty that you're doing may only require the over 12 and over 40, you can only fill in those fields and leave the rest blank, and you're able to save the information and it will carry throughout the system. So if you're working on a specialty that's already configured, you can double click on that and you can go through and update any rates that may need to be changed. And then simply click Save and it'll update the information for you below. If items are not configured, these boxes will be left blank for any information that is not filled in when configuring. This information will carry over to the job details page, so when you go to post a job, the information will populate at the bottom of the job posting. If you go through and realize that you need to change your rate, so over 8 may be 100, over 12 may be 100, but everything else will remain the same. So you can make those changes and click Save. When you click Save, it says update the bill rate for this specialty in the Client Specialty tab. So we just configured the rates at the specialty level within that client. However, I made some changes for this job. If I want these changes to be applied consistently throughout the system for this job and with this client, so every time I post an RN/ER position, it'll pull those rates. And I can say, yes, I want to update those rates on the specialty tab. I would click Approve. If these rates are only specific for this one job posting and I don't want them to repopulate every time I go to create a job for this position or this specialty, I can click Decline. And it'll go and post my job. Once the job is posted on the deal sheet, you're able to see the different bill rates that have been configured for that system or for that client and that job posting. You're able to make certain changes to these bill rates if you have the admin configuration roles and permissions. In this segment, we are going to talk about the enhancements made for when posting a job at the client level. We have made 2 enhancements to help make time more efficient for you and to speed up the process when creating those job postings to get them as fast as possible out to the recruiters. The first one we have is the assignment length is now defaulted to 13 weeks. So all you have to do is enter in a start date and automatically calculate the end date based on a 13-week assignment. However, if this does not match up to your job posting, you're able to change the assignment length with ease and it'll update that end date for you. The second enhancement we have made is after you select a specific shift, it will automatically calculate the shifts per week based on those hours, and then we'll calculate the scheduled hours below. If the shift does not match that, if the shifts per week does not match the time selected for that shift, you're able to come in here and you can edit that shift per week, and it will update the scheduled hours for you below. Thank you for listening. This concludes the sales reps enhancements for the back office release. If you have any questions, please email support@laboredge.com.